So let's begin with the simple observations. Here, I have a pencil and a coffee cup. Which one is bigger? Yes, this coffee cup, right? Now, I have only these two. Which one is bigger? The water bottle is bigger, right? So say I have this and the lamp on the table. Which one? The lamp is much taller, by the way. So this is much bigger, right? The comparison continues. It never ends. This endless measuring is a perfect metaphor for the human condition. We compare ourselves to others, looks, careers, relationships, possessions, and even happiness. Because comparison is endless, the feeling of not enough also becomes endless. What we often forget is that these comparisons and judgments are only meaningful in a conceptual framework. These are not absolute truth. They are simply labels, categories, and stories that exist in our minds, what we call panyati in Pali. Panyati refers to conceptual constructs and reality, things that do not exist ultimate realities, but are useful for communication and daily functions. These examples include a person, pen, money, cups, literally, or future, time, literally all we use and created names, ideas, categories, roles, and stories. So I show you this. You would say, oh, that's a pen. But what if I show it to someone from an indigenous tribe who's never seen it before? They may see it as a tool, as a spear, like small spear for survival or hunting. Then the name and concept of pen no longer mean the same. Or let's break it into small pieces. It's parts, right? It's like plastic, aluminum, and pen, ink. So I disassembled, right? Disassembled piece is a pen then, right? How about this? We call it a book, but what is it actually? What is it? This is just a bundle of papers, right? What about this? This is a piece of wood that we conceptually name the table or bookshelves, right? So this example may sound simple, but they point to a very profound truth. Most of what we believe to be real, fixed, or meaningful is entirely conceptual. The Abhidhamma explains that panyati are mental constructions, while Paramatta Dhamma refers to ultimate reality, consists of mind moments, consciousness, mental factors, material, matter, body, and nibbana. When we realize that the world we live in is made of ever-changing, conditional elements, the grip of comparison starts to loosen. The idea of I'm not enough only arises when there is a concept of someone else is more. Right? Let's take beauty as an example. In different cultural contexts, beauty is defined in a completely different ways. Some cultures consider a fuller body as a sign of beauty and wealth, while others idealize thinness and smallness. Even within a single culture, beauty trends constantly shift. At one time, darker skin and fuller curves were seen as attractive and sexy. At another, lighter skin and slimmer bodies are preferred. These ideals are never fixed. They are conceptual, ever-changing, and never universal or ultimate. And now imagine spending your life chasing after this fleeting idea of beauty. How much time and energy would you waste trying to fit into standards that are bound to change anyway? Ask yourself, where does this craving to be more come from? Why do we struggle with the feeling of not being enough? Often it's not about the thing we think we want. It's about the underlying emotional need. We don't want money. We want security. We don't want popularity. We want to be loved. We don't want beauty. We want acceptance, maybe. But these needs, pursued through endless external comparison, can never be truly fulfilled. Because every time we gain something, the standards shift. There's always someone richer, more attractive, more accomplished. The very first truth to realize is this: the standards we measure ourselves against are conceptual, not ultimate. The second is that in a world built on concepts, comparison is endless because where there is a reality, there is always something or someone else measure against. In the Dhamma, the Buddha encourages santuti, contentment, joy, or satisfaction as a strength, not a weakness. In the Dhammapada, it is said contentment is the greatest wealth. True contentment is not passive resignation. It is the clarity, stability that comes when we stop looking outwards to define our worth. Another key to practicing enoughness is recognizing interdependence. Nothing we own or enjoy comes solely from ourselves. The Buddha once saw a bird eating a worm and asked, "Why must one being die for another to live?" This is the law of nature, interdependence, not isolation. Our lives are built upon and sustained by the support, sacrifice, and help of countless others, both seen and unseen. Your food, clothes, home, education are all results of countless people's effort. Farmers, tailors, construction workers, engineers, coders, and artists, you name it. People whose names you'll never know contributed to your life. We are just unaware of them because of our ignorance, right? The awareness softens the craving mind. Instead of chasing more, you begin to feel grateful for what is. And gratitude doesn't mean we stop growing or stop dreaming. It simply means we are no longer driven by lack. We act from fullness, not emptiness. Whenever you feel you're not enough or that your life lacks something, pause and reflect. What am I comparing myself to? Who set that standard? Does that standard truly reflect what matters most to me? The more clearly you see through the illusions of comparison and ego-driven craving, the more peace you will feel with what you already have. Enoughness is not a goal to achieve. It's a practice of perception. When we unlearn the habit of measuring ourselves against shifting external ideals, we return to what is simple, grounded, and real. We don't deny the relative worth, we just stop being ruled by it. Enoughness is not the end of your journey, it's the beginning of a deeper, wiser, and more joyful one.